Are you serious? Are you serious? BP EarthWatch is going to be joining us today. He'll be a guest live on today's Coming Apocalypse broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. 12 noon Eastern. BP EarthWatch will be with us. We're going to be talking to him about Planet X or Nibiru or the Jupiter winds. And he has put together an extensive video collection and research upon the magnetosphere and how there was a reversal. You may remember that we had our magnetosphere, we had a reversal. The pressure came from behind and pushed back the solar winds, a reversal in October the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And this is a precursor, of course, to the second wave of the 5 waves of energy that are coming upon the Earth. The second wave due December 26th. But BP EarthWatch has done extensive research on Jupiter winds. Matter of fact, he'll be joining us today. We're going to find out about Planet X and the Jupiter connection. And what does it all mean? Well, the solar winds consist of charged particles, folks. Charged winds, these charged particles, they create a tremendous influence on the Earth's geomagnetic field. The solar wind consists of charged particles from the sun, which varies with the degree of solar activity. The solar activity is best exemplified by sunspots and results in a virtual sheet of current flowing from the sun. In turn, it's producing a very complex magnetic field. Meanwhile, the sun's magnetic field changes from being aligned parallel to its axis of rotation at the minimum of sunspot activity to a perpendicular at the peak of what is referred to as a sunspot cycle. Now, you know that the sun is in a solar minimum right now, but the sunspot cycle, and thus the orientation of the sun's magnetic field, has a period on average of about 22.25 years, and a longer term cycle of 178 years. But the planetary magnetic field, such as Jupiter and Saturn, are considerably less documented, but appear to be in rotation base. Because of the solar wind, the planet's magnetic fields in outer space take on the configuration of a tear-shaped magnetosphere. In the case of Earth, the strange orientation of the magnetic poles twist this tear shape almost 30 degrees and thus imposes an additional complexity to the problem. In the case of Jupiter, its magnetosphere extends out as far as the orbit of Saturn. Are you serious? That's huge. With material being forcibly disconnected from Jupiter and flung down the tail. Now, this electromagnetic movement of charged particles from Jupiter might be termed the Jupiter wind. In each case, the magnetic spheres of the planets act as a shield against the effects of these solar winds, but a shield which may not be entirely effective. In the case of the Earth, the geomagnetic pressure very nearly balances the dynamic pressure of the solar wind. This equalized pressure surface layer is termed the magnetic pause, and it acts as a shield for 99% of the solar winds that hit the Earth. But what do you do when CERN is running at full speed ahead, both beams, weakening our magnetic sphere, and at the same time, Jupiter winds, Nibiru, the shaking of the heavens by the Planet X scenario, as our planet is vulnerable. The last thing already from the solar flares coming in CMEs and ultraviolet rays and gamma rays and radiation coming at us from the sun that has this huge, huge hole in its atmosphere. But what do you do when at the same time we're getting a backlash from the solar winds of Nibiru, the Jupiter winds? We're going to ask BP EarthWatch to break this down because it sounds like the earth and sounds like the heavens are shaking and the earth is starting to be quaking and the devil's back is breaking and my mind is aching. And so I'm telling you, we're in the last days. Are you serious? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. Are you saved? Don't miss it. BP EarthWatch is my guest today. Show starts at 12 noon Eastern. Do not be late. 12 noon Eastern. I'll be at my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. Also, new live stream, Roku satellite television, Blog Talk Radio, this YouTube channel live right here. Are you serious? 12 noon Eastern.